everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Language Talks. I have the honor of talking to a very senior language professional today, Dr. Padma Mehta. She is from Pune. She is a teacher, translator, writer, book reviewer, and much more, and works in the languages Gujarati, English, Marathi, and Hindi. Let us talk to her and learn about her journey. Welcome to the show, Padma Tai.
Thank you, Lalita, and my greetings to your viewers.
Thank you, ma'am. So I would like to start about asking you about your doctorate you had done back then in English poetry. So that is very interesting. Can you tell us more?
Yes, well, I got my PhD in 1992 at the age of 50.
Okay.
The focus of my study was Thomas Hardy's poetic works. In fact, readers of English literature know him as a novelist. Many are
Right.
surprised when they come to know that he had written poems also. Actually, the
Oh,
collected works of his poems runs into
hmm.
almost 1,000 poems, and
Oh, okay.
they display an amazing range of length, themes, meter, and other technical devices and poetic features.
Okay.
Now, my aim was to explore the problem of free will and determinism in
Hmm.
poetic works. That is,
Okay.
आत्मस्वातंत्र्य आणि नियतीचा लढा.
Hmm.
For this PhD study, I also got the UGC fellowship for 4 years, and
Okay.
after the teacher's research grant for 8 weeks at Hyderabad in the American Studies and Research Center. I mean, that was the name that time, now it is changed.
About your teaching career, it spans a vast area. So how do you address the variety of students for teaching methods?
Yeah, I have, as you rightly said, I have taught at 4 levels: primary
Mhm.
children, secondary school, college, and postgraduate students.
Okay.
Started with playing games with them, telling them
Mhm.
stories, teaching action songs, and of course,
Oh, okay.
I think it was third or fourth standard. I'm not very sure.
Mhm.
And reading
Okay.
with them, and the school had a very good collection of teaching aids, and I made optimal
Mhm.
use of those pictures and charts to make
Mhm.
them visualize the things, and
Okay.
applied the basic concepts of B.Ed also. But that was
Mhm.
afterwards. But I had read about it. By the time I came to secondary school teaching, I already had
Mhm.
my B.Ed degree with maths
Okay.
and English as special methods. You must be aware that
Uh-huh.
we offer two methods. Mine was
Yeah,
maths
right.
and English, but
Mm-hmm.
the school where I taught was a Gujarati
Huh.
medium school. As Gujarati
Okay.
was concerned,
Hmm.
my training in English language at B.Ed helped
Hmm.
me a lot.
Hmm.
And after all,
Okay.
it was the mother tongue of the students. So I
Hmm.
enjoyed it, and we went ahead very successfully. If I may, I can share with you one certain remark my past student made when I
Mm-hmm.
met
Oh,
her after a long time. She was in
sure.
my class, and
Okay.
somehow the topic came to the exams, and she said,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, Padma Ben? I mean, in school, Gujarati school, they used to call me Padma Ben. In Marathi school,
Mm-hmm.
Mehta Bai, etc." That when I wrote
Okay.
the paper, I didn't remember the textbook and the classes and all. I heard your voice and I read the paper. I wrote the paper.
Oh,
I was so
okay.
happy, really. I mean, at least one student told me that after leaving the school after 2 3 years.
Yes.
For college level, I had a compulsory English. Every time you cannot stick to the B.Ed methods.
Correct.
So earlier we had translation methods in B.Ed and structural methods, then
Hmm.
direct method. Methods went on changing
Okay.
in the period, even for teachers training. But a good
Correct.
teacher always tries to combine the methods depending
Hmm.
on the group
Hmm.
before him or her.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
told them, actually, the B.Ed tells us not to say anything in Marathi, not to explain anything in Marathi. But
Hmm.
when it was question of tenses, especially
Hmm.
the difference between simple present and present perfect, a very subtle difference. I used to
Right.
explain them in Marathi or Gujarati directly without worrying about
Okay.
the methods.
Okay.
And
So,
that worked. Of course, I
huh.
have to take care that immediately I switch back to my direct English. I could do it as a teacher.
Right.
The students couldn't have, but that helped.
Okay.
There was another same thing about tenses.
Mm-hmm.
Simple present and simple past tense. My weak students, there were many weak students, but they wanted to clear
Okay.
exam, and compulsory English anyway they wanted 40 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, you focus on simple present and simple past,
Okay.
which everybody knew, and with little practice they can be good at that, and write the whole
Okay.
paper in these two tenses. Without
Right.
nobody would give you 50, 60, but you
Hmm.
40, 45, and they got it. Now we come to postgraduate level.
Okay. Sure.
This was there. I had two classes. I mean, I was asked to always I was
Okay.
asked to teach two subjects. One was literary
Okay.
criticism,
Mm-hmm.
which was a compulsory subject. So the principles of literary criticism, usually they ask about that, but you have to substantiate each point with examples from the English literature. But
Okay.
the second subject which I was invited for usually as a visiting faculty was uh, special author. So in one particular year, I had very good experience. 7 students had opted for Thomas Hardy as a special author.
Oh, okay.
So they invited
Okay.
me. This doesn't always happen. I mean, it can be any author. That year it was Thomas Hardy.
Okay.
I had 7 students, and usually
Mm-hmm.
5 were at least present. So it's such a small group. And since they themselves had opted for this author, requesting the university to make an arrangement, 5 was the
Right.
compulsory number. They were very motivated, and I enjoyed it most.
So my next question is about the BEC exams, that is the Business English Certificate of the Cambridge University.
Yeah.
So you became a recognized professional of
Yes.
the British Council for guiding the candidates for these
Yeah.
exams. So
Yes.
please tell us about it.
Okay, this Business English Certificate exams and also the IELTS, that is International English Language Testing System.
Right.
These two exams are conducted by British Council, but the administration is with all the British councils all over the world. It is their responsibility. So in Pune, we have a very good British Council library, though it's not the capital of the state. And they roped me in as one of the potential trainees. I was with the British Council for a long time, and they knew me. And they roped in other people also from the English literature faculty. And then we had 3 days orientation, just how to switch over to business English. You were teaching your Thomas Hardy and Jane Austen and Shakespeare,
Right.
all that, but you had to go to business English. So do's and don'ts of business English.
Correct.
And that was it had started that time. I think I don't remember the exact year, but it was newly started. And after the training, they used to send our numbers to the different companies, corporate companies, and different institutes also, even the MBA and all institutes. And depending on their needs, they used to call us and discuss the days and timings and the commercials also, of course.
Okay.
That's where we started our corporate training. Then in the meanwhile, because they were short of teachers, they roped me in as roped me in means the train also as one of the teachers trainers for BEC.
I see. Okay.
I train a group of teachers for becoming BEC trainers.
Okay.
Finally,
great.
I also cleared one test and became the certified examiner of the Cambridge University for BEC speaking module. Speaking module.
Okay.
This was going on. This also opened up the doors of corporate sector for me.
Right.
So many companies wanted their employees to clear the BEC exam and improve their English.
That's great. So corporate is a different sector altogether, isn't it?
Yes, definitely, definitely. See, there, efficient communication is hot currency.
Right.
And
Correct.
another thing, just as I told you in primary students and even PhD
Hmm.
or postgraduate students, group before you doesn't give you
Hmm.
that kind of, and they cooperate. Now, not
Correct.
that corporate employees didn't, but see, they
Hmm.
already are very expert in their own fields. That is why
Yes.
they are
Right.
selected in those big companies, right? Software,
Hmm. Yes.
mainly software, but I did some courses with one pharmaceutical company as well. But they all
Okay.
are selected with rigorous test, isn't it so? So they have some
Huh.
care about it, not all, but many.
Hmm.
They don't like to be trained. They are aware that they may need, but
Hmm.
they found it an extra burden because against the
Hmm.
training, there was no concession for them from the regular work.
Hmm. Correct.
You see, I had to be on my toes. Not English wise.
Yes.
English wise, it was hardly much which I was teaching. You see,
Okay.
for example,
Hmm.
their emails. Uh,
Hmm.
Not that they were very weak, but they had such a shoddy manner of writing email. They all
Okay.
write emails to each other within the department,
Hmm.
interdepartmental uh, needs, isn't it so? But then they would write
Hmm.
U for YOU and many other short forms. That was okay
Oh,
for within the company. I didn't have
right.
any problem. But the management, the HR people wanted me to train them for sending proper formal emails to the clients, to the
Oh.
suppliers.
Hmm.
So uh, they found it very difficult to shift to that also. I said,
Um,
you write this for your interdepartmental and interdepartmental within the
hmm.
company. You don't have to do anything else. You continue with that. And when you write to suppliers and all, you must take care. Slowly they changed, not much, but slowly they did change. So somehow at the
Okay.
end of my 10 or 15, 12 years career in the corporate sector,
Hmm.
I have the satisfaction of improving their drafting skills. I
Oh,
am
nice.
PhD in my English literature, and here I am teaching the drafting skills to the business. So it was a range, and I think every experience enriched me.
Correct.
Yeah, isn't it so?
Right.
And with HSBC, and they also had their different work ethics and work environments. And
Hmm.
so that way, one corporate sector was not like the other. One corporate company was not
Okay.
like the other. Uh,
Okay.
to give two
So,
examples, extreme, I was happiest with
right.
HSBC and very sad when I went to Satyam.
Hmm.
Same reason, work ethics, the work environment, etc. The work
Hmm.
ethos. So
Hmm.
this is all I have to say about the corporate sector.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing. Moving on to your translation career. So, you have translated Professor Jayan Naraikar's science fiction novel Virus from
Yeah.
Marathi to Gujarati.
Yes,
Please
but
tell us about it.
okay. First of all, let me say that I like to read science fiction. I was
Okay.
right from Verne to Isaac Asimov and many. But when I read
Hmm.
the Nalikar's Virus,
Hmm.
immediately I said to myself, oh, this is the best so far.
Hmm.
And then I approached sir for the permission to translate it into Gujarati. But before I
Okay.
go further in this, let me tell you about the unique features of this novel, why I like. There are four.
Okay.
First
Hmm.
of all, it does not glorify science. Many
Oh,
science
okay.
fiction, Star Wars and all, glorify science.
Hmm.
This book
Hmm.
is down to the earth, very realistic. It is
Okay.
science fiction. There are many things, very interesting things, but it is realistic.
Hmm.
Secondly,
Okay.
it ends
Hmm.
with an unanswerable question. Means,
Ah,
as
okay.
you finish the book, a kind of sense of unease lingers in your mind for some time.
Hmm.
Third, the storytelling techniques which Professor Narikar has used can compete with
Hmm.
many novelists in the field of literature. And this was very
Okay.
surprising. The
Okay.
first chapter, for example, the first chapter starts very dramatically with a flash
Hmm.
technique, and then
Okay.
like a montage, scenes go
Hmm.
changing, and every turn the reader is utterly confused. He is utterly confused what's going on. And
Right.
suddenly, at the next turning, he finds the
Hmm.
link to join the dots, and the story starts gripping him till the end.
Oh, nice.
Professor Narlikar has indicated, not directly said, two kinds of
Mm-hmm.
space.
Hmm.
One outside unfathomable universe, as we know,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
other unfathomable human mind.
Hmm.
So this story goes, beyond the usual definition of science fiction.
Okay.
My
Okay.
reason to do that. And Professor Nalik
Okay.
was very cooperative. He didn't know me.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, he couldn't have said, yeah, go ahead. He asked me to
Mm-hmm.
translate one chapter, which I sent to
Huh.
him. He sent it to Dr. Patel, one of his colleagues in Gujarat, the
Okay.
same. And Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Patel also, just like Dr. Nalikar's good colleagues, sent it back in a week,
Hmm.
within a week, with a couple of very constructive suggestions and
Okay.
asking Professor Nalikar to allow me to go ahead. And
Okay.
at the end, in that letter of approval,
Hmm.
Sir
Hmm.
added that there were various scientific terms which might confuse me,
Oh.
and I was
Huh.
always welcome to call his PA on any
Okay.
clarification, and I would get help
Hmm.
through anybody or he himself.
Okay.
This was also very,
Yeah.
you know, at the
Nice
end I went
experience.
with the books, copies when the book was published,
Hmm.
and I went
Hmm.
with the copies and the check, his share of the money. He was
Okay.
so very genial,
Hmm.
very down to earth. So I will never forget that.
Okay.
It was a joy to translate. It got some good reviews, which my friends in the Gujarati literary circle sent me from Ahmedabad and positive reviews, which can,
Correct.
give you motivation.
You also translated children's plays of Vijay Tendulkar and Sai Paranspe.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. So tell us about it.
There is one periodical in Gujarati run
Mm-hmm.
by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan in Mumbai,
Okay.
and its name is Samarpan. We also have that
Hmm.
word in Marathi also, Samarpan. Uh,
Okay.
one year they decided to bring out children's special issues, all plays of children. I
Hmm.
mean, all the languages touching the boundaries of Gujarat, Marathi, Hindi, I think Kannada also.
Hmm.
So they asked us to
Hmm.
select two plays and translate them into
Hmm.
Gujarati for that special issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
And they
Hmm.
also told us uh, very frankly that Samarpan
Hmm.
was not a commercial periodical. They were on a strained
Okay.
budget, and
Huh.
we should request the authors to keep this in mind.
Okay. Hmm.
And they also gave us the freedom to choose the authors, to choose the plays,
Hmm.
to get the permission, everything we had to do.
Hmm.
I talked to my Marathi speaking friends and found out that Tendulkar has written
Hmm.
a very good play,
Yeah.
Boyish Ghost.
Hmm.
सही
Okay.
प्रांत is भटक्याचे भविष्य.
Hmm.
Both are very good plays, short plays. Now, Tendulkar, who has written Sakaram Binder and Gashiram Kotwal, can come down to this level and write. And all I
Hmm.
had to do was to translate it. So I didn't have to
Correct.
change my years, you see, sort of. Same thing
Huh.
was with Sai Paransky. Sai Paransky.
Hmm.
She has also
Right.
done so much higher in the higher echelons of creativity. But she could also
Correct.
come down and write Patkya Bhavishya in such a nice way.
Hmm. Yeah.
For me, all that was left was to very honestly and sincerely translate it into uh, simple Gujarati which children could, understand.
Hmm.
And
Correct.
one more experience with Tendulkar, especially when I wrote
Hmm.
to him that this magazine, this periodical rather, is not a
Hmm.
commercial one and they are running on a strained budget and
Hmm.
would be happy if you could keep this in mind. So within
Hmm.
2-3 days, I got a postcard written by his assistant
Hmm.
perhaps, very simply writing, okay, then whatever you get, send us the half. I got 25
Hmm.
rupees. I sent them 12 rupees 50 paise plus money order charges. That left me
Okay.
10 rupees perhaps. Which apparently nothing happened. I sent her all the money and it didn't matter. But
Okay.
even, yes, this Gujrati Bobici Goshta was televised. I mean, that
Hmm.
TV team also approached Tendulkarji. At that time,
Okay.
we didn't forget to remind them to consult the translator, that means myself. This was also very surprising, a pleasantly surprising uh, indication from such a famous author for whom I was
Correct.
nobody, for whom I was really nobody. But
Okay.
such things give you so many experiences dealing with
Yes.
good, bad, all experiences.
That's right. You translate poems for yourself. Can you recite one of them for us? Both versions, English and the original.
Okay, I can. The name of the poem is Ithaka.
Okay.
It's a Greek. So before I present the poems both, I think a brief historical reference will not be out of context. Is that okay?
Okay.
Hardly,
Yeah, sure.
hardly 2 minutes. So it's by Greek poet C.P. Kawafi, who spans the early 19th century, late
Okay.
19th century to early 20th century. It's originally in Greek language, but I have translated it from its English version,
Okay.
naturally.
Yeah.
The poem is addressed to Odysseus, the hero of Homer's great epic Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
Odysseus was the king of Ithaca. Ithaca is the main title of this poem. And after the 10-year-old war of Troy, remember Helen of Troy, that war. After
Yeah.
that war ends, 10 years, after 10 years, Odysseus sets on the return voyage to Ithaca. It again takes another 10 full years with many challenges. So the story of his voyage back to Ithaca form the core of the epic poem Odyssey. But
Okay.
in C.P. Kawafi's poem, Ithaca symbolizes the destination. It is a philosophical, deeply philosophical metaphor which C.P.
Okay.
Kawafi is handling on the basis of this poem.
Okay.
So it's an eternal journey, it's an eternal destination for the journey of life. Okay? So I have taken a touch of liberty, just a touch of liberty in Marathi translation to be true to the texture of the Marathi language.
Right. Right.
The poem comprises 4 stanzas and 36 lines. So here we go.
Okay, sure.
Ithaca by C.P. Kawafi. When you set out for Ithaca, ask that your way be long, full of adventure, full of instruction. The Laestrygonians and the Cyclops, angry Poseidon, do not fear them. Such as these you will never find. As long as your thought is as long as your thought is lofty, as long as a rare emotion touch your spirit and your body, the Laestrygonians and the Cyclops, the angry Poseidon, you will not meet them unless you carry them in your soul, unless your soul raises them up before you.
Okay.
Second stanza. Ask that your way be long. At many a summer dawn to enter, with what gratitude, what joy, pours seen for the first time. To stop at Phoenician trading centers and to buy good merchandise, mother of pearl and coral, amber and ebony, and sensuous perfumes of every kind. Sensuous perfumes as lavishly as you can. Visit many Egyptian cities to gather stores of knowledge from the learned. Have Ithaca always in your mind. Have Ithaca always in your mind. Your arrival there is what you are destined for. But don't in the least hurry the journey. Better it last for years, so that when you reach the island, you are old. Rich with all your gain on the way, not expecting Ithaca to give you wealth. Ithaca gave you the splendid journey. Without her, you would not have set out. She hadn't anything else to give you. And still, if you find her poor, Ithaka hasn't deceived you. So wise have you become of all such experiences that already you will have understood what all these Ithakas mean. What all these Ithakas mean. That's all for the English version. That's all for the English version. इथाकेला जाण्यासाठी तू जेव्हा प्रस्थान करशील तेव्हा खूप दीर्घ प्रवास मागून घे. साहसपूर्ण अगणित क्षितिज ओलांडणारा. लैस्टिगोनियन स्काय किंवा सायक्लोप्स आणि क्रोधित पोसायडन. मुळीच घाबरू नकोस त्यांना. जोपर्यंत तुझे विचार उदात्त राहतील, जोपर्यंत एका दुर्मिळ भावनेचे तुझ्या शरीराला आणि मनाला कवच असेल, ती भूतावळ तुझ्या वाटेला जाणारच नाही. एस्ट्रिगोनियन, सायक्लोप्स आणि पोसायडन. तू स्वतःच जर त्यांना जवळ बाळगले नसेल ना, तर तुला ती भेटणार नाही. म्हणूनच सांगतो, खूप लांबचा रस्ता मागून घे. नित्य नवीन बंदरात अनेक ग्रीष्मांचे सूर्योदय न्याहाळी अवर्णनीय आनंदाने कृतार्थ हो. वाटेत फोयनिशियन बाजारातही थांब. सरळ हाताने खरेदी कर मनसोक्त. पोहे, स्फटिक, किमती लाकूड व उत्तेजक अत्तरांची लयलूट. नंतर काही इजिप्शियन शहरांनाही भेट दे. प्रकांड पंडितांकडून ज्ञानार्जन करीत करीतच पुढे जा. इथाका तुझे इप्सित जरूर असू दे. तेथील आगमन तर तुझ्या भाग्यरेखेत आहेच, पण प्रवास संपायची घाई मात्र करू नकोस. वर्षे तू प्रवासीच राहा. म्हणजे म्हातारपणी त्या टापूवर जेव्हा तू उतरशील, दीर्घ प्रवासामुळे इतका श्रीमंत, इतका तृप्त की इथाके करून तुझी कोणतीही अपेक्षा उरणार नाही. प्रवासाची अदम्य पिपासा. प्रवासाची अदम्य पिपासा त्या खेळी इथाका आणखी तुला देणार तरी काय? इथाकेने तुला हा भव्य प्रवास दिला, जो इथाका नसती तर तू केलाच नसतास. आता तिच्याकडे तुला द्यायला काहीच नाही. आणि तरी जर तुला इथाका अकिंचन वाटली, तर तिने नाही तुला फसविले. इतका प्रगल्भ झालेला आहेस तू या सर्व प्रवासांमुळे की एव्हाना कळालाच असेल तुला या सर्व इथाकांचा अर्थ. कळालाच असेल तुला या सर्व इथाकांचा अर्थ. मराठी वर्षन.
Wow, thank you so much, ma'am, for reciting it and presenting the translation also. That was so good.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
If you like it, it's my pleasure.
It was so nice to talk to you and understand your journey, because you have seen a lot of areas because of your career, of the language career.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you, Lalita, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me in conversation with Dr. Padma. See you soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.